A scary crash. Two cars slammed into a home near where a 13-year-old was sleeping. What caused the whole thing? Feeding the Kids, the new program making sure millions of children won't go hungry over the summer. Hello, everyone. You're watching The Rundown. I'm Robin Winston. Nearly 21 million kids across the U.S., including here in California, are expected to get a new permanent grocery benefit starting this summer. The USDA just launched the program known as the Summer Electronic Benefit Transfer. It will provide nearly $2.5 billion in grocery benefits. States will provide families with $120 per eligible child. The goal is to make sure no child goes hungry during the summer months while they are out of school. A popular road in Malibu is back open. A landslide covered the road last week with huge boulders, mud, and debris. Well, this is right next to the tunnel, and Sunday night, LA County Public Works posted this video on X showing the road all cleaned up and ready to go and announced that the area had a thorough safety assessment. With more rain moving into Southern California, there are serious concerns for people living in this Brentwood neighborhood. Several homes in Bundy Canyon are yellow tagged due to landslides. News Chopper 4 flew over the area Sunday where you can actually see large cracks right there in the soil. Can you see that? Well, people in the neighborhood say the cracks are about 5 feet wide and growing by the day. A specialist will be coming out to evaluate the hillside this week. Hold on a second. Don't put those umbrellas away just yet. There is another storm heading our way. Meteorologist Belinda Leon breaks it down.
Hi, everyone. Well, this is it. We are wrapping up the month of February, and the last few days will be mostly mild. The weather dries out as we head into Tuesday after a weak system affecting Southern California. We'll have 66 in Santa Clarita. Now, for the middle of the week, the temperatures will get a little warmer inland. We're even going to reach some 70s. Then Thursday is going to be a transitional day. Temperatures start to cool 64, and we transition into a new month. At the end of the week, we're saying hello to March with colder temperatures. We're going to have numbers in the 50s, and here's the reason why. We're tracking a potentially stronger storm at the end of the week, and it's going to be a rainy start to March. So the timing right now for the next storm system will be Friday through the weekend. It is going to be a colder one with the threat for significant snow. Of course, rain amounts and timing are still a little fuzzy, so more details to come in the coming days. Stay tuned.
A toddler is recovering in the hospital after getting shot while inside a car in Santa Ana. This happened Sunday night in the area of 15th and Spurgeon Streets. It's unclear what led up to the shooting, but we do know the girl was in the backseat of a car when it happened. Officers are canvassing the area to get any surveillance video. Police first got the call about the shooting from Children's Hospital of Orange County, which is just a couple of miles from where it happened. Police say the parents drove there with their injured daughter. And in this video, you can actually see the car with at least 2 bullet holes and crime tape around it. The child is expected to survive after several surgeries. Police are looking for a woman they say tried to kidnap a little boy from inside a Target in Westlake. The LAPD released these surveillance images of the woman. They say she grabbed the 4-year-old boy Sunday afternoon and tried to leave the store. But the child's parents confronted her, and that's when she put the boy down and just ran away. If you recognize this woman, the LAPD wants to hear from you right away. Actor Kenneth Mitchell, who was known for his roles in Star Trek Discovery and Captain Marvel, has died. Mitchell died after a 5.5-year battle with ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease. It's a disease that affects nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord. Despite the challenges, his family remembered him for managing to rise above each one with grace. Kenneth Mitchell was 49 years old. A 21-year-old man is now in custody in connection with a deadly crash in Reseda. The LAPD says the 2 drivers involved were speeding. Well, check this out. The crash happened Sunday morning near Van Nuyen and Lindley. Police say the 2 cars collided, killing 1 person and injuring 6 others. At least 4 other vehicles in the area were also damaged, and so was a home.
We think like a bomb, you know? Boom, boom, twice. He broke the water pipe from there, and then he broke the tree. Look, come over to the building here.
The driver's bill was set at $2 million. A Long Beach family will have to rebuild their home and business after a terrifying crash. Police say a suspected drunk driver is to blame. Liz Garibaldi and Arto Salcedo were at home when two cars barreled right into it at about 12:30 Saturday morning. Their thoughts immediately went to their 13-year-old son who was asleep in his room.
I climbed all the rubble barefoot and in the cars, and he's still not responding, and I'm just wondering what am I going to see when I finally look over downward to his bed, because his bed was twisted around.
Well, thankfully, the son is okay, but the home and the art gallery they ran in the same building at 7th and Rose was destroyed. Police arrested Luis Medina's Amador for felony DUI. They say Amador crashed his car into the back of an SUV, which caused both vehicles to then crash into the family's home. Roughly 80 employees working for the William S. Hart Union High School District in Santa Clarita are expected to get layoff notices this week. The district says it's facing a budget shortfall because of declining student enrollment. Roughly 50 teachers and 30 other staff members are set to get laid off. The district says any employees impacted by layoffs would have priority for any new positions that open. Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley is vowing to keep her campaign going, but it's becoming even more difficult for her. A major donor just pulled support from her presidential bid. The powerful Koch network will no longer fund her campaign after Haley lost the South Carolina primary on Saturday, her home state. Former President Trump won with nearly 60% of the vote. Haley had 40%.
He, as a Republican incumbent, didn't get 40% of the vote of the primary. He's not going to get the 40% if he's going and calling out my supporters and saying they're barred permanently from MAGA.
Michigan is holding its primary Tuesday, but Mr. Trump already has his sights set on the general election. He's in a position to potentially clinch the party's presidential nomination within the next month. All right, a heads up if you plan a trip to Disney's California Adventure in March. The theme park is temporarily closing 3 of its attractions for refurbishment. The impacted attractions are Radiator Springs Racers, the Incredicoaster, and the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail. They will be closing at the end of this week, and at the start of next week, the attractions are expected to return in April. It's the most common form of cancer. 1 in 5 Americans will develop skin cancer in their lifetime, but it's curable when it's caught early. And now a new AI-powered device is helping doctors diagnose the disease in a non-invasive way within seconds. Eun Yang has a closer look at how the technology works.
It looks like a phone and fits into the palm of a doctor's hand. Technology that's the first of its kind, using artificial intelligence to detect the most common forms of skin cancer.
It allows the physician using it to get a readout on a scale of 1 to 10. So that gives you a relative idea of how concerning the lesion is.
The wireless device by DermaSensor was just cleared by the FDA for patients 40 and older. Dr. David Leffel is a dermatologist and professor at Yale School of Medicine and the author of Total Skin, and took part in the clinical trials.
When a physician or other provider sees a patient, they're evaluating the patient, they're taking a history, they're looking at the lesion, they're in their own minds developing a perspective on whether it's something concerning or not. This device is additional data that allows them to make a decision about whether or not to refer the patient on to a dermatologist, to a skin specialist.
And here's how it works. First, a doctor identifies a suspicious spot or mole and scans the device to generate a score.
A ray of light is emitted on the skin lesion, and that light bounces back, and it's read by the device. And using a particular algorithm or mathematical model based on how it reads that information, it is capable of determining abnormalities in the cell.
That algorithm uses data related to 20,000 scans of more than 4,000 malignant and benign lesions, and a result is calculated within seconds.
This is the first FDA-cleared objective skin cancer device for use on the most common forms of skin cancer.
In studies, the device was very effective, with 96% sensitivity rate for detecting skin cancer. The company says DermaSensor works on all types of skin, giving primary care physicians an additional tool to decide if a patient needs to take action and see a dermatologist.
If anyone has tried to get an appointment with a dermatologist lately, you know that it's not easy. And so one of the expectations with this device is that it'll allow primary care doctors to more accurately decide what needs to be referred on.
A 25-year-old from Philadelphia has become the first black woman to play in the U.S. Women's Polo Championship tournament. Shariah Harris's team made it to the semifinals. She's been playing the sport since she was 8 years old. And during this Black History Month, she shared a message to the rising number of young black girls getting involved in polo.
If you don't see anyone who looks like you, that's okay. It might not feel okay at the time, but it's okay because you never know if you will be the catalyst.
Very inspirational. When she's not riding horses, Harris actually works as an operating room nurse, and her colleagues gave her a hero's welcome after the tournament. Oh yeah, let's clap it up. The El Segundo Little League is now in full swing. Over the weekend, the city celebrated opening day with a parade for the hundreds of players down Main Street. The event paid special honor to the team that brought home last year's Little League World Series title.
Time will tell about what happens with these careers of the guys that are 6'1" now, and see what happens in 2 or 3 years if they keep growing and getting bigger. Who knows, man? The MLB might be coming after them.
Time will tell, and we will be cheering them on. Let's go, Gundo. A commemorative plaque and sign was placed on the scoreboard at Brett Field celebrating the team. You can always get news and weather updates on the NBCLA app and our website, NBCLA.com. And be sure to tune into Today in LA on NBC4, weekdays 4 to 7 a.m. I'll be helping you get around with traffic reports throughout the morning. I'll see you next time on The Rundown.